this shit! What's up, fight fans? I'm Mr. Mime of Mixed Martial Arts, Tommy Toehold, and the UFC has nothing to offer until January 18th when Cowboy and Conor fight, so let's take a look at what else is going on in the MMA world right now.
Confusing Rampage about where he's going to attack. Big shot.
Actually, let's never speak of this again. January is the time of year that the entertainment industry doesn't give a shit because ad rates are so low after the holidays. So yeah, I guess all we can talk about is Cowboy and Conor. But there's been a lot going on there. It looks as if Conor has gained about 98 pounds recently. His coach John Kavanaugh says this is the best he's ever seen him. Meanwhile, Cowboy is denying accusations nobody made about him throwing a fight that he hasn't even had yet. Just out of fucking nowhere starts denying shit that, as far as I can tell, nobody had even considered. Cowboy, why would anybody accuse you of throwing the fight? I mean, you're not known for throwing fights, and the fight hasn't even happened yet. I reckon. Oh yeah, I forgot you're Arthur Morgan now. I know one thing. I did not rob any sort of banks in the last 36 hours. I was at home watching Family Feud. That Steve Harvey's a funny motherfucker. Nobody said anything about any banks. I know, I'm just saying. I definitely didn't rob any, and Steve Harvey's really funny. I don't understand why anybody would say any different. But nobody did. Nobody said anything about any of this. You brought this topic up completely unprompted. Well, all I know is that I do not know where Hoffa's body's buried, and I'd appreciate it if you backed up off me about it, okay? Okay, Donald, do you think that maybe you were mistaking people thinking that this fight is a mismatch? With people saying that you were intending to throw a fight? That could very well be, but if you think for 1 second that I would turn the power off on the Ghostbusters containment unit and unleash poltergeists throughout New York City, we don't have anything to talk about. And motherfuckers! Conor, are you sure you're not planning on fighting John Jones after the Cowboy fight?
I'll knock his skinny ass out too. I do not give a fuck. This is my Habib Buster suit. I can cut down to 155 from this weight and go into a bout on April 18th with enough power in his left hand to put down fucking Ivan Drago, let alone shit britches.
Wait a second, April 18th? That's when Habib fights Tony. Yeah, so about that, if something were to happen to Tony, and believe me when I say this, I truly hope nothing interferes with this huge and important lightweight title fight, but yeah, if something were to happen, you know, I think it would make the most sense that Conor, assuming he beats Cowboy, of course, you know, assuming that he would fill in. It just makes the most sense in the division, you know? I mean, I wish it wasn't the case. How was I supposed to know that Tony would be trapped in an elevator full of food and water for a week? Wait a second, Tony hasn't been trapped in an elevator? Right, I'm just saying, if that were to happen with a week's worth of food and water, and Conor were to beat Cowboy, I'd hate to see it, but you know, for the sake of the division and keeping things fair, it would only make sense that Conor would fight Habib on that card. If that happens. I'm just saying, if that scenario plays out. By the way, how fucking dare you guys count Cowboy out? What are you, fucking stupid? This is the hardest fight of Conor's career. Would Cowboy fight Habib if he beats Conor and Tony's stuck in an elevator for a week with food and water? Don't be ridiculous.
I run a fucking fight game still. I'm gonna fight any fight I wanna fight and you do nothing about it.
Conor, how did camp go? Your coach says you're the best he's ever seen you and that you know more about fighting than the rest of them put together.
I know more about everything than everyone put together. You have seen me on salads and you have seen me on steaks. Now see me on fucking everything. Habib is running scared. Little britches full of shit. Shitty britches McPoop pants out there. He thinks he can hide away and take that easy fight in Tony. I will invade Russia. I will be waiting for him in Dagestan with a bazooka. The 2020 season has begun. It's fucking hunting season. Escobar season. And after I KO Cowboy, I'm taking a lightweight strap, a bad motherfucking strap, and a welterweight strap. In 2020, I'll have that triple crown, and yous will be begging for the days before Conor McGregor ruled over the sport with an iron left hand. How's that for some New Year's resolutions, you weight-cutting pussies?
I still don't know what that means. Let's talk to the top welterweights to see how they feel about all these developments. Kamaru Conor says he's making a run for your title. What do you think? Who? You obviously know who Conor McGregor is. I'm sorry? I mean, you watched mixed martial arts, right? What? MMA, the UFC, the company you work for? You surely know who Conor McGregor is. No idea. Okay. Jorge, how are you feeling about Conor putting on some weight and taking interest in the BMF belt? Hey, if dude wants to get religious, that's cool with me. I'll go get my robes and holy water. We can have his baptism scheduled as early as March. But I want half up front and half after I send him to the landfill. No evidence, no resurrection season for him. Ireland, you're a dump. Proper 12 sucks, tastes like hamster piss. Okay. Colby, you put a hell of an effort up against Kamaru Usman. Been a minute since we've seen you, really. How are you doing, and when will we see you fight again? Do you remember when Kanye West was in that car accident, and he broke his jaw, and then he released that song Through the Wire? I do? Well, I got a single coming out. I recorded it over the same track. I'm gonna release it next time Tyron Woodley releases an album, and it'll sell more copies than his. Here's a little snippet of it. Wait, no, don't, we'll get copyright. This is fucking bullshit. I was completely unhurt. Fucking Mark Otter couldn't tell that I was alert. All you nerds and virgins who thought I lost are also butthurt. I'm still talking shit even though Usman made my jaw an invert. How do you console my fans after I came up short? Not to mention I still gotta pay all of these escorts. And just imagine how my jaw feels. On a plane I had to choose applesauce, it was the softest meal. But I should've known the deal, I mean I can't really whine. What did I expect when I talk shit about the dude's coach dying? I spoil movies online, I've been a douche all the time. Trying to be a millionaire, I turned into a punchline. In the same hospital where Bisbee lost his eye, the doctor said I had a jaw fracture, but it's only minor, man. Get my ass back out there like I got some work from Stitch Duran. I swear, this shit right here, history in the Bryant stand. That last line didn't even make any sense. That's because you're not a patriot. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. And I wrote it, so who's the real asshole here? Nate, what's going on with your supplement company, man? Plants are on steroids. Can't even trust plants anymore. Hit us with those wonderful shout-outs, Nate. Hey, real quick, shout out to all the Patreon homies. Keeping this shit afloat, that's what's up. Eric Marco for helping me win that giant burrito food challenge. Nicole P for helping me sign my most recent endorsement deal with Slim Jims. Bernie Musatelli for filling up my tank, even though he only borrowed my car for like a 4-mile drive. Hard Jock Jag Paul for holding down the base and domination when we play COD. Nick Roma for helping me find those possums living in my attic. Keith Parker for helping me get those possums Nick found out of my attic. Jeremy Dussing for offering to clean up his spilled drink even though it was an accident. Charlie Rock 129 for never letting anybody fuck with his afternoons. Steven Swan for helping me tune up my piano. Danny Aiello Jr. for getting me tickets to see RoboCop the musical. Guillermo Lizarraga for having the most powerful calves on the planet. Clint Boyd for being an extra in Independence Day during the speech. Jesse L. Reiner for being professional as fuck in the workplace every day. Jacob Sider for never just assuming he knows who did it in Clue after like 2 turns. Lou Velvet for creating our wrestling stable, the Todd McFarlanes. Lawrence Ward for inventing ground and pound, look it up. Matt for having a nice set of cooking knives he keeps on display. Lucky McKay for helping me nail together that IKEA desk, fuck those instructions. Handmade sauce for keeping me company while I waited at the dentist's office. William Macon for coaching the 1979 Pittsburgh Steelers. Lee Downs for teaching the class on how to ninja some shit with only a paperclip. Christopher Lepresti for remembering to breathe out when he's doing his squats. Risk 2 for lying to that suspicious looking cave troll for me. John Carlos Caballero for majoring and kicking the fucking shit out of people. Johan Peterson for never not doing an elbow off a ladder someone set up. Brennan and Shane McGrogan for making the best pancakes in the world. Jacob Green for only eating half the pack of gum I forgot I gave him. Duke Bourbon for keeping the beat on Rock Band on Very Hard. That shit is not easy. Lee Bishop for keeping his vehicle clean as fuck even though he knows it's gonna rain. Tanya S for having the most killer crossover I've ever seen on a court. Johnny Johnson for making watching at least one movie a week a requirement. Alex Winningham for serving some fire-ass cucumber cake at that party. Nick for letting me borrow his Nintendo Switch, and by borrow I mean it's been 3 months. Jason Pittman, the baddest motherfucker if you run a pickup game of basketball 2-on-2. Jason McKee for listening to music at a reasonable level. Ted Volkman for riding bikes with me through Stockton even if it's raining. James Savage for being a savage at coloring. Robert Lee Bagley for performing that emergency surgery on me the other day. Paul Hand for depositing those checks for me the other day because I hate waiting in line at that little tube. Ryder Rice for taking care of those zombies that tried to eat me on that train. Bert Stapelkovich for being the realest motherfucker in any room in history. Tebow82 for being one of those people that gets pulled on Family Feud. Shecky Palermo for teaching me how the 4th dimension works even though we can only see 3, what the fuck. Ivan Zavarzin for never making too much noise when he eats crunchy foods. Vincent Vega for helping Jules make his decision to just walk the earth. And Ted Salad for helping me with my deadlifting form. Only lift as much weight as you can lift correctly, motherfucker. Whoop.